Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I am doing the weekly life slash finances reading. I guess it could be life, finances, anything general that comes through the cards that does not have to do with love. So I just did the love reading, the twin flame soulmate energy reading, and that should be uploaded already. I try to upload both of my readings at the same time, so make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already. Also, I'm going to be doing an extended version of this reading down below in the description box on my Vimeo channel, or Vimeo, how is it pronounced? Vimeo? One of those two. It'll be down in the description box below, so when you're done with watching this video and you want to see the extended version, just go to the description box and click on the link. So, let's get into it. This week, the general energy I'm picking up on is a little bit conflicting. I feel like a lot of people are having major epiphanies, major endings in their life, and kind of switching direction. Like, that's the energy that I'm picking up. It's like ending a major cycle in your life, but it was like an ending that was slowly but surely coming anyway. So I don't think it was an ending that a lot of people were shocked by. I feel like a lot of you had something happen that you were expecting to happen that's like pushing you on the correct path. So let's see. The Eight of Cups, the Three of Wands, both in the reverse, and the King of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to show you Eight of Cups in reverse, Three of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands in the upright. So the Eight of Cups in reverse represents an indecision to walk away. Knowing that you have to walk away from something but not wanting to, so kind of going back and forth. But also I feel like this is an energy of you knowing that you need to walk away onto something better for your life, but not knowing which direction to go, so that's what's keeping you stuck. Like not knowing exactly where you're headed, and if you don't know where you're headed, then it's like, what's the point of moving forward? Because you're just going to be blindly wandering without reaching the destination when you don't know what the destination is. I mean, obviously. So with the Three of Wands in reverse, again, this is a repeating message from the Eight of Cups. I feel like you know that there's something bigger and better for you out there, but you don't know what it is, and because you don't know what it is, you don't know how to get there. And I feel like what this is saying is that you need a surefire plan, and you have to know exactly where your end goal is. It's like when you're setting some type of goal, it's important to stay somewhat detached from the outcome, because if you worry about the outcome too much, then that can sort of psych you out and make it so that you don't actually move forward and try to achieve the goal. So you want to stay detached from the outcome, but you do need to have a clear picture of the outcome in your mind. You do need to have a clear picture of where exactly you are trying to reach, in order for you to know which plans to take in order to move forward. So I feel like some of you are in this energy right now. You're feeling kind of lost and stuck in life because you don't see a finish line. You don't see exactly, what there is out there or what you actually desire to reach. It's like kind of just going through life day by day and just going through the motions, but not feeling like you are truly connected to any type of fulfillment or happiness. And some of you are really starting to ponder about your purpose in life. Some of you are very dissatisfied with what you're doing with your life right now. You feel like it's empty. You feel like it's stale. It's like stagnant. And you just know that there's something better out there. And I feel like a lot of you are now in this energy of the King of Wands, where you're actually going to start looking and seeking like what your purpose in life is, what you're passionate about, because usually they go hand in hand. When you find out what you're passionate about, then you figure out what your life purpose is at the same time. Usually that's how it works. So some of you are so fed up of being stuck in this energy of not knowing where you're going in life, or just basically wandering through life aimlessly, that now you're becoming serious about figuring out what your life purpose is, what your mission is, and what's going to make you feel fulfilled every day, and not just feel like you're just going through the motions. Let me clarify this Eight of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Fool, and the Four of Wands. The Four of Swords. So we have the Eight of Cups here along with the Queen of Swords. And like I said, a lot of you are fed up with this energy. I feel like a lot of you have been stagnated, and a lot of you have been going back and forth in your head about moving forward with a major decision in your life. And you're pretty much fed up with it. And now you are making the very clear-cut decision to cut out anything in your life that you feel is no longer serving you. And I feel like you're being very extremely stern with this. And if you are not in this energy, this is the energy that you need to adopt. Is to make a final decision and to not go back and forth in your head about it, to be very decisive about it. Like, it's about that time to be decisive is what I'm reading with that Queen of Swords energy. Let me pull one more. Okay, the Sun card in reverse and the Two of Cups. Wow. Okay, so this is talking about cutting out. Funny how like this card is covering up one half of this. I feel like there's a message in that. Cutting out anything that's causing you any type of despair, anything that's causing you any type of depression, anything that is making you feel like not the best version of yourself, things that are not feeding your soul, like you are finally deciding that they have to absolutely go. And it's interesting because we have the soulmate card here, but because this isn't a love reading, I'm not reading this as a person. I'm reading it as anything that you have been giving your emotional energy to that's no longer serving you. I feel like it's being like eclipsed out. You see that? And we are entering an eclipse. This is eclipse season, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, it's interesting how that card just happened to be on top of that card like that, to the point where I read it as it's being eclipsed out of your life. Like, this eclipse season is one that it's like you're using it as a way, you're using this energy from the eclipse season, to cut out anything that no longer serves you. It's like you are making up your mind and making a final decision about this. But I feel like also this represents you cutting out the part of yourself that you are no longer satisfied with, or that's no longer serving you. So if there are any behaviors or traits that have benefited you in the past, but they're no longer benefiting you, it's now time to cut them out, I feel. For example, if, as a child, it served you to overgive or be a people pleaser, like because your parents weren't nurturing, so giving to them or being extra kind or nice to them, or trying to nurture them was the way that you felt like you got your needs met, or you got that nurturing right back. That benefited you as a child because you needed to find a way to get that love and affection from them, so you became a people pleaser. But as an adult, I feel like that no longer serves you. You see what I'm saying? It's like things that served you, that were survival techniques or coping mechanisms, they no longer serve you now as an adult. And I feel like you're realizing that. And I feel like you want to cut those self-limiting beliefs and those parts of yourself completely off. And if this is not your energy, this is the energy that you need to adopt. Letting go of any coping mechanisms or any self-limiting habits or beliefs that are not helping you to grow on a soul level. So then we have the Three of Wands here in reverse, and we have the Fool card. So again, the Three of Wands talks about either you have no clear destination in mind, so you're feeling somewhat defeated and you're not moving forward. Yeah, I feel like that's what it is. Yeah. So the Fool card is saying to follow your guidance. That's what I'm hearing. Follow your guidance, even though you feel lost, to look up and follow your guidance. Interesting message. Hold on, let me pull one more. And I feel like this is a message that is kind of the Seven of Swords. I feel like this is a message that's kind of repeating. A lot of people are getting the energy of needing to surrender or needing to trust in a higher power more. It's like a lot of you are trying so hard to figure this out. Whatever energy you're in right now of feeling stuck and stagnant, you really feel like you want to get it together. Like you want to plan everything out. You want to know exactly what to do. And it's overwhelming some of you to the point where it's actually stagnating you and stopping you from actually figuring out what you're passionate about and figuring out your plan. Because you're overwhelming yourself with trying to really, really figure it out without having intuitive guidance about it. I feel like, okay, this is what I'm getting. You know how we have divine masculine and divine feminine energy within us, right? Our masculine energy is basically what we use to take action. So our masculine energy would be the energy that we use to write down our plans or our goals for the future and then take action towards it. But we also need that feminine energy to grab those ideas from source, from God. Like, that's how the creative process works. When you are, like, let's say you're meditating and all of a sudden you get a bunch of creative ideas. That means you are tapping into source energy and you are getting those ideas. And you tap into source energy using your feminine energy. So I feel like some of you are not in touch with your feminine energy. You're not getting in touch with source and getting your ideas or your guidance from source. You're using masculine energy, like you're using too much of your logic and you're not using enough of your intuition. And that's why you're stuck, I feel. So with the 7 of Swords being in reverse and the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like it's this energy of deceit and abandonment that you're needing to clear out of your system. It's like this deceitful energy that may have left you feeling left out in the cold. This may have been in the past. And because it's not a love reading, and because this is general, this could apply to anything. It could apply to parents. It can apply to... Okay, I'm seeing that it could apply to situations in the past where you have deceived yourself into thinking that things were going to go well, but then you ended up feeling left out in the cold. And that is something that's blocking your path too. Like, you don't want to fool yourself again. And sometimes I feel like some of you get this intuitive guidance that's telling you to go a certain way, or that like this creative idea is going to make you a bunch of money, or this idea is going to get you, you know, where you need to be at in life, or push you on your path. Like, you get these intuitive hits to your mind that like enter your mind as thoughts, and then you kind of talk yourself out of them because you don't want to be fooled by them. See what I'm saying? It's like you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your thoughts. You don't trust your intuition. And you feel as though, even though you are being led in the right direction, you are taking those intuitive messages as, okay, maybe I should ignore that because in the past I tried to step out on a limb and do this and that, and it just ended up falling apart. So your intuitive messages and guidance that you're getting, it is correct. Like, it is leading you down the right path. You have to let go of this idea, of this notion, or this fear that you are deceiving yourself. Like, things are too good to be true. I'm going to be left out in the cold. I'm going to be abandoned, or I'm going to be a failure if I actually step out onto this path. So that's the energy that I'm getting. You thinking that certain things are too good to be true. So you're not actually moving forward with those things because you think they're too good to be true. So then I have clarifying the King of Wands. I have the 4 of Swords. So this is talking about the balance between, again, feminine and masculine energy. Again, this is the balance between knowing when to take action and when to actually sit down and rest and wait for your intuitive guidance to come to you. Actually praying for the answers and then moving forward, rather than moving forward and trying to find the answers and hoping that you find them along the way. Like, you really have to learn how to get in touch with your intuition, because just taking action isn't going to work. But on the flip side of that, just laying around and praying and using your intuition is not going to work either. You need a balance of both. So some of you have too much masculine energy where you are taking action, but you're not letting your intuition guide you. You're not letting spirit guide you. And then others of you, you are resting too much to the point where you're not using your masculine energy. And this is definitely a repeat message from last reading, I believe. This is exactly what we spoke about last reading. Pull one more for that 4 of Swords. 10 of Wands, one more. The Hermit. Okay, so with these 3 cards in combination, what I'm reading these as is the need to work smarter instead of harder. And that's why I feel like this message is specifically for people who are in their masculine energy, who are just productive just to be productive, who are working just for the sake of working, filling up their schedule just for the sake of being able to say, oh, I'm busy. Or a lot of you could be filling up your schedule specifically because you're afraid of actually following whatever you are passionate about. If you have a dream or something that you're passionate about, one way that you can sabotage that, or one way that you can kind of talk yourself out of pursuing it, is by filling up your schedule to the point where you have no time to. So then you're just like, oh, I have no time to do that. Like, I want to be an artist, but when do I have time? When I have 2 jobs and a dog to feed. Like, that's what the energy that I'm getting. It's like filling up your schedule intentionally, or even if you don't understand that it's intentional, it's subconscious, so that you won't have to pursue your passion because you may have a fear of failure, is what I'm seeing with these 3 cards, and like these 3 cards coming out together. And I feel like with a little bit of introspection and really sitting and analyze yourself, I feel like you will come to the conclusion that you're doing this and find a way to downsize and clear your schedule, and then work on your goals and your dreams little by little, so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you are not fearing the failure too much, because you're working on it little by little in baby steps. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, like, for the people who you need to fill up your schedule because you need to pay bills, like you have 2 jobs, not because you're trying to distract yourself from what you really want, but because you actually do need that, like those 2 jobs. I don't think I'm talking to that group. I'm talking to the people who are specifically doing this, filling up their schedule in order to avoid a passion or avoid really going inward. Like, some of you could be avoiding a dream or a passion, but some of you also could just be avoiding yourselves. Like, if you're on a spiritual journey or a healing journey, some of you could be using work or being productive, quote unquote, as a way to avoid looking inward and doing this work. Some of you, I'm seeing, don't even know how to rest or relax. Like, when you are at rest or you're able to rest, even on your days off, you don't even know how to take a day off. And that's a major issue as well, because I feel like for some of you, it's impacting your health, is what I'm seeing. And that you're going to have to force yourself to sit down. Like I'm saying, like, sit down and force yourself to have some peace and quiet, even if it's uncomfortable at first, because you're so used to being stressed or you're so used to being active. But I'm seeing here that's seriously impacting your health. So that's something you need to make a priority, is learning how to relax. Let me pull one more. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so there is definitely, I said one more, but let me pull one more. There's definitely emotional, there's definitely something that you want to move towards, that you are passionate about. And this is not a love reading, so this is not a person. There's something that you want to move towards that you are passionate about, but you are not doing so with this Knight of Cups in reverse. Let me see. 5 of Swords, because I feel like you feel like you're going to be defeated. Yeah, this is definitely an overall energy of feeling defeat or failure. And this doesn't even have to necessarily do with dreams or goals or passions. Like, a lot of you are on a spiritual healing journey, and even in that, you are feeling defeat. Like, you don't prioritize your healing work. You don't prioritize yourself, because that's not easy either. Like, really taking the time out to get to know yourself and heal yourself, it's something that can leave you feeling very shameful and defeated, because you see parts of yourself that you never really knew were there, that you didn't acknowledge. You see parts of yourself that you may identify as toxic. You start to really run down like a past history of yourself, of like things that you might have done wrong, things that have been done wrong to you. So I feel like a lot of you are in this energy. Like, if you're not focused specifically on a career goal, a lot of you are afraid of doing your healing work, because you know that it comes with a lot of shame, because we have to face those broken parts of ourselves that we have suppressed, because we are ashamed of those parts of ourselves, that we don't want to feel defeated or ashamed. But you need to face those parts of yourself, I'm seeing, because those parts of yourself that are in your shadow side that you feel defeated by or ashamed of, those parts of yourself are actually what's creating your reality. So you think you have suppressed your shadow side. You think that, you know, yes, in my shadow side, I can be a bit like clingy, or I have a whole video on shadow work that you can go check out. So I'm just using the example from that video. Like, you could think, okay, in my shadow side, I am needy, I am clingy, and this, that, and the third. But I suppress that because I don't want people to see that part of me. But when you actually dig down deeper into it, you'll see that you are needy and clingy because you feel unworthy of love and you feel undeserving of it. So then when you dig down deep into that, then you feel that pain and that shame of coming to a realization that you don't even feel worthy of love. But what you don't understand is that you need to come to that realization, because that's what's been manifesting circumstances into your life. You feeling like you are unworthy of love and care has been attracting situations to your life that have been reflecting that back to you. So I'm feeling like I said, a lot of you are afraid of this healing work because you don't want to see your shadow side. But what you don't understand is that you need to bring that shadow side to the light so it can stop manifesting negativity into your life, and then you can move forward onto a path where you are happier, healthier, and you are manifesting positive things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Okay, so I'm going to continue this reading down in the description box below. You can just click on the link and then it will redirect you to my Vimeo channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.